All right, good morning, Aviator Nation. What's happening? Aviators, wealth builders, right team, BYOB, Primetime Legacy. Oh, man, we got all these teams, RBA, Beast Mode, TTLA. Holy crap, look at all these winners up in here. Man, I hope that you guys are absolutely ready for this morning. It's going to be unbelievable. We have a legend. We have a superstar. We have this guy is like a movie star of Primerica. This guy, they use him for everything. He's got the best voice in all the company. And man, you guys are in for a treat. I hope you guys got your notebooks out and you guys are ready to get some good training this morning. Listen to this, guys. This gentleman who we have on the line here is absolutely incredible. Jeff Seagrave has been a part of the company since 2002. I'm not going to take most of it. I'm not going to take his thunder or anything like that, but you guys need to know this, okay? Started in 2002, became a regional vice president 12 months later, currently has 12 regional vice presidents. Cash flow is at $320,000 for the year, y'all. That's like little over 30 grand on a monthly basis, y'all. And man, he's absolutely doing some phenomenal things, always along the top of the Indiana leaderboards. And man, you guys are in for a treat. You guys have seen him on our new recruit orientation that we do across the company. Man, and this guy's an absolute stud. We are so privileged and so honored to call this man a friend of ours, a teammate. And man, I met Jeff. I met Jeff in 2013 when I was a regional. I was probably a division or a regional. He came to Tampa and did what's called a. He did what Dick Walker did an event called RVP University. And man, I remember back in 2013. This guy has been an absolute stud since the very beginning of time, man. But even in 2013, I remember going across stage. They were giving out these little pendants, these little lapel pins for doing different milestones: 5 by 5,000, 10 by 10,000, 20 by 20,000. He did 40 by 40,000, and they didn't even have a lapel for it. They had to give him two 20 by 20s. I don't know if you remembered that, but he was so cool and so smooth. They're like, Jeff, what did you do what did you do last month? He goes, oh, no big deal, just 40 by 40. And they gave him two of the pendants for 20 by 20,000. But listen, this guy has been absolutely just killing the Primerica game even since back in 2013. He's got an unbelievable business, and we are so privileged and honored to have him here this morning. Guys, like I said, I hope you got some notebooks, because look, even if you don't have any kind of notebooks to write down with, man, I'm telling you, doesn't matter how sharp you think your mind is, you're not going to be able to repeat anything back what Jeff says at the end of it, man. So make sure you got something to write with, to take these notes. And, man, we're honored and privileged. I think, Joe Susanya, if we have Jeff Seagrave as one of the co-hosts here so he can share his screen, because he's going to be feeding us this morning. So, hey, guys, help me welcome and congratulate the incredible Jeff Seagrave. What's up, Jeffrey?
Oh, my goodness, man. I love it. So excited to be here, y'all. Listen, you put all kinds of pressure on me, man. You make me sound like I'm something important. I just want to share from the heart this morning, man. I'm just so honored to be a part of this team call this morning. Listen, the Ortiz family means so much to me and Rachel and our whole family. We absolutely love this team. We love your RVPs. Every company trip, we hang out together. I mean, this is a family icon in Primerica. We talk about, one day my son coming into business with us. I think about Eric and Jason and what that looks like as a family business, and the kind of support that Bryn and Jackie give to those two guys, the way Ed and Yvonne have just been able to build, such a family legacy. I love it. I love everything about it. And we look at you and your organization as role models for what we want our future to look like. And so it's truly humbling, honestly, guys, just to think that from where we came from from the way that I grew up, from the way that I got started, that anybody would ask me to share anything about my story is nothing short of miraculous. I'll tell you briefly at the beginning my background, just so you kind of get a full picture. And I think it'll matter too when you understand there's really been two distinct halves of my business. The second half looks entirely different than the first half. And I want to share my story to maybe give some of you a little bit of hope, right? I got to guess if there's 105 people watching right now, I've got to guess that not all 105 are crushing it right now. There's at least one of you that didn't have the month you wanted last month, at least one of you that feels like you might not be good enough, or you're just not sure that you're going to be able to figure this out, right? And I know if you're that person, everybody else looks like they do have it figured out. I mean, you look around and everybody, right, because we put on that face, the truth is they're just as scared as you are and just as hopeful that it's going to work out for them as you are. So let me tell you our background quickly. Then I'm going to go through some things. I was talking to Jason, and y'all making a big run right now, which I love. And I was looking at the numbers, getting all fired up this morning, Jason, because y'all are beating us right now. The Ortiz hierarchy is bigger than mine. You have more licenses than me. You're doing more recruiting. You're doing more premium, and you're making more money, but not that much. So our team goal is to get to SNSD and make $1 million run going into convention. You text me this morning, yeah, that's where we're running, guys. I love it. I think iron sharpens iron. I would love nothing more than to see this leadership team rally together and watch Ed and Yvonne walk across that stage, hold up a ruby ring, right? The 24 roses, the great big. I mean, I would sit there knowing that maybe I just had a small part to play in getting this thing launched, because we're 12 months out, right? This is the run. I mean, we're there as we're running into the 2021 convention. So let me tell you my story real quickly. If you don't know me and my background, Rachel and I grew up very, very rural America. All my family farms. I literally grew up in Mayberry. If you'd ever seen the Andy Griffith Show, that's where I lived. Nobody locked their doors. A handshake's all you need. I mean, it was the most unbelievable lifestyle growing up. I come from a farm family. All my family farms. Mom stayed home, raised all 4 kids. All the men in my family farm. I really thought that all I would do, Eric, was grow up and take over the family farm like everybody in my family always has. Due to a premature death in the family, that option was not on the table when I got out of high school. So Rachel and I were high school sweethearts, and I'm a year older. So I went off to college for a year while she finished up high school. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I've always been told that I'm not the kind of guy that works well for others. Like I've got to be in charge. I don't need to be micromanaged. Don't tell me when to clock in. Don't tell me I got 30 minutes to eat a sandwich. I'm going to run my life. But I was in a job that controlled all of that. And so she got out of school that next year. We got married. And just jumped into life. So I was working full-time. She was working full-time. I was going to school. She was going to school. And then throw a baby into the mix, Jackie, things get crazy real fast. And so all of a sudden, I'm working 6 days a week, writing papers, changing diapers, never sleeping. That's the point in our life, Eric. We realized what the definition of the phrase sleep like a baby actually means, because we were waking up every 2 hours and crying. I said, man, there's got to be a better way. And so I was praying. Rachel was on maternity leave after our daughter was born. I'd always promised her that when we had a family, she could stay home and raise our children. I don't think it should be a luxury in America to raise a child you give birth to. But as a man, I wasn't making enough money for her to be able to stay home. And that it ate me up, guys. I did not sit well with me. Some people, that don't mean nothing, right? Just goes in one ear and out the other. It tore me up. I was raised better than that. But I didn't know what to do, man. I was out of time. I was already working 6 days a week. And so I was praying for some answers. We had a friend from church approach me with Primerica, and did the whole, hey, I'd love to show you what I do. Can I pop by? And all I heard was, I've got a $2,000 vacuum you need to buy. Can I come over? That's all I really heard. I said, man, I don't think this is going to work. Not looking to spend any money right now. And he said, no. He said, I help people feel better about their money. I'm like, bro, what are you doing tonight? I got this much money. I don't feel good about any of it. And so he came over, sat down with us, did a kitchen table, saw the rule of 72, saw the debt stacking, all of that, guys. But if I'm truly honest this morning, if you tear me open, what I saw that night at my house was that this company had 37 people making over $1 million a year. And that blew my mind. 37. Now, we had 97 today, but we had 37 back then. And I kept thinking that if there were 37, there had to be room for one more. right? 38. And I laid awake that night, Crystal, thinking about what would I do with $83,000 a month. You see, when you get married really young and start a family really young in a really small town, everybody starts talking, right? And I had some people that were betting against me in life, said maybe I was doing things out of order. I was doing things wrong. Maybe I shouldn't have been making some of the decisions. And I'm the kind of guy, you want to see me do something, tell me I can't. Now, that might not be Christ-like, but that's just me. And I had some people betting against me. And so I just figured that if I could make $1 million, I could shut everybody up. And so when I got started in Primerica, what I really saw was passive income, owning a business, legacy, freedom. But I fell into the Primerica trap, Josh, and I started to do the things opposite of building passive income, family freedom, and a legacy. You see, our greatest strength in Primerica is we make a lot of money, but our greatest weakness in Primerica is we make a lot of money. And because I needed to make money, I immediately started to lean towards sales. And I found out I was pretty good at the kitchen table. We had a great reputation. Everybody knows my family. Everybody seemed to say yes. I didn't have any problem setting appointments. I know that's not everybody's story. It's just mine. And to sit down for an hour or two, knock out a life app. We did refinance mortgages at the time, right? You know, make $1,000, $1,500 that was easy money, man. And I got addicted to the kitchen table lifestyle, but I shied away from building other leaders. And, you know, at the end of the day, I don't know if I'm the only one on the call right now, but I saw freedom, but I moved into sales. I saw freedom, but I moved into sales. How many of y'all understand this morning that you being at the kitchen table for the next 40 years is not the dream? Y'all understand that? Ain't no one of you. If I went around right now with 112 people watching and I said, hey, right, unmute yourself and tell me if the reason you joined Primerica because you were fired up about selling life insurance and you couldn't wait to do that 6 nights a week. If that was you, right, raise your hand. Ain't nobody gonna raise their hand because that's not why we're here. We saw freedom, but I started to do the things, Jackie, that didn't lead me to freedom. And so we had a distinct moment in my career. Right before Jason was talking, you know, we really, got to be friends and hang out with people cool enough or cool like the Ortizes. I finally reached the Cool Kids Club back in the early 2010s. But we had a distinctive shift in our business in 2010. And, you know, we've been here for 8 years, Jason. We started in 2002, 2010. I mean, I got to RVP my 12th month. So as a 21-year-old with no college education, I mean, I became an RVP in a town of 1,000 people, man. So we got that done. We got to 50,000 my second year in the business, which was like Bill Gates money for me. And we just kind of bounced around, right? I had no boss. We had 2 little kids at that time. And, life was okay. But you go to these Primerica meetings and everybody's making $500,000 or $1 million and you're so frustrated because you're not. Anybody relate to that? You go to a fast art school and you're so sick and tired that you don't have an RVP badge or you don't have a ring on your hand. And so you just get to a point, Eric, where enough's enough, right? And I think if we're honest this morning, I'm going to get into a slideshow here in just a second. We all want to change the results of our life. Would y'all agree with that? I want my results to change. I want a better bank account. I want a better business. I want a better marriage. I want a better relationship with my kids. I want a better spiritual life. I want a smaller waistline. I want a better life. My results need to change, but I can't focus on my results and change my results. My results changing is just a byproduct of some activity or action. I change my action, I change my results. I stop eating all the fatty foods and I start exercising. Now my results change. But my actions aren't going to change long-term if I don't change something about my belief system. And my belief system is never going to change, friend, if I don't change the way that I think. And so I got to change the way that I think, right? If I change my thinking, I change my life. And so I was talking with my team a couple of months ago, and George, I told him, I said, everybody's frustrated right now because you want your life to be better. But here's the challenge. Here's why your life's not going to change. You're just disappointed. You're just disappointed. You look in the mirror, you're just disappointed. You look at your bank account, you're disappointed. You look at your team size, you're disappointed. And see, disappointment, Jason, I can deal with. Right? I've been taught mechanisms to handle disappointment. But if I want my life to change, I've got to fall to a level of disgust. See, I can look in the mirror and be disappointed about the way I look and not really go run a mile. not push away the extra slice of pizza. When I look in the mirror and I'm disgusted, I change like that. When I look at my business and I'm disappointed, well, there's a lot of people disappointed. When I look at my business and I'm disgusted, I change it. And in 2010, Jackie, I got disgusted, right? I finally had my wife call me on my crap and say, listen, quit telling me it's going to be unbelievable. Quit telling me we're going to be, big leaders. And quit telling me it's going to be awesome. It's been 8 years and you ain't done it yet. And I think, men, sometimes we need somebody, right, to strip us down and say, dude, you ain't got it, man. And I made a decision that night that this was hell or high water. This had to happen. And see, when you get disgusted, you put your discomfort away. You put your little fears away. I don't want to talk to people. Well, that goes away when you get disgusted. I'm worried, Eric, what they're going to say to me. That goes away when you get disgusted. And we made a change, Jason. And there were a few things that changed in late 2010. 4 specifically. Number 1 was our environment. Guys, environment is everything. Andy Young said environment trumps everything. Competitors want an arena to compete in. Right? You think about right now, the world's a little bit different. You got all these athletes thinking about, well, maybe we could play sports again, but we won't let people show up and watch you. I don't know about you. I played sports my whole life. It's not really that fun if ain't nobody watching me. I mean, the game's one thing, but I'm doing it for reasons other than the game. If ain't nobody watching, ain't nobody screaming my name, I ain't going out there and beating up other guys for 2 hours, man. I need some of that, right? So my environment changed, Crystal. The second thing that we sold out to, I'm going to go through this in a second. The second thing we sold out to is double-digit recruiting. And I know that sounds silly because the whole world talks about double-digit recruiting. But Kelly, I had never sold out to that. I could say double-digit recruiting, but there was nothing in me that believed I could consistently double-digit recruit because keep in mind, friends, it was mostly me doing all of the work. So, it was not like I believed I could go do something huge. Double-digit recruiting was a stretch for me, but we decided to change my thinking, and we sold out to double-digit recruiting. The third thing we sold out to, y'all, was growing licenses. I kept trying to figure out ways, Brendan, that I could sell more stuff without getting more people that could sell the stuff, which sounds silly looking back as a business owner. Right? If you own a Subway franchise, you say, well, I get $1 of profit for every sub that goes out the door. I need to sell more subs. Well, maybe you'll sell more subs if you have more stores, right? You got some 17-year-old back here, you're beating over the head. You got to sell more, sell more, sell more. Look, there's only so much a guy could do. Go get more guys. And I know that seems so silly, Stephanie, but I was not of that mindset in 2010. We focused on that. Okay, you got to recruit him before you can license him. So double-digit recruiting, then you got to license him. And then lastly, we focused on growing our attendance. Like there's 123 on the call right now. I would track that stuff. I needed to know, Jackie, that number was growing. If we had 117 last time and 123 this time, I'm good. If we had 143 last time and 123 this time, I'm freaking out. Right? Because, I think it was General George Patton that said we will never pay for the same real estate twice, meaning there's no retreat, right? We bought this ground going forward. We're not paying for it going back. We're moving forward, growing at all costs. And we focused on those 4 things and our life changed. Let me give you an idea of what I'm talking about. We're going to dive into some things that'll help y'all rally as a team. Get this family over that SNSD line, over that $1 million earner line. The first half of my business, Jason, I've been here 18 years. The first 9 years, I made $524,000 cumulatively in 9 years. That's not sexy, friends. Don't write that down. But it was all personal production. It was really all me. I didn't have anybody. I was an RVP, which means I had a title and a contract, but I didn't have a team. And listen, an RVP without a team steals the dream. I don't have a team. We made some changes the second half of my career. I've been paid over $2 million, all in overrides. I don't sell anything to anybody ever now. I did it for 8 years, 9 years. So $500,000 the first half, all personal production, Eric, $2 million the second half. That's cash, that ain't stock. In that second half, we've been given, earned through the stock program over 4,500 shares of PRI. I went from no RVPs to 12 RVPs. No ownership to I own a business right now because I don't have to do anything in it. Even if you take Jeff and Jeff's base shop out of it, it's worth almost $3 million. Like that. And I didn't change my presentation. I didn't change my sales approach. I didn't change the paint collars on the wall. I changed this. And when you change this, you change your life. And so we sold out to a few things that I want to be able to cover with y'all this morning. If you're going to go make this deal everything that it should be. Right? I'm going to see if I can, okay, looks like I can share my screen. Awesome. Perfect. There we go. Jason, give me a thumbs up, man. Y'all see that okay? Right, so here's what we're doing, y'all. Here's, and I'm talking about this with my team. So I'm giving you exactly what I'm talking to my team about right now. So if we're going to make this daggum run, let's make it together. This is what I'm talking, this is what I'm focused on. Now, this is not the gospel according to Jeff. This was me having conversations with people that are making over $1 million, that have built people that make over $1 million. So what I'm going through, this is not my creation. This was me having conversations, guys, with mega $1 million earners that override $1 million earners. You see, there's two games being played right now. There's a few of us Ortizes. There's a few of us that are playing Primerica. And everybody else playing Primerica Financial Services. And you hear it in the way that they talk. They'll tell you that you can get free, but then the first thing they teach you how to do is a kitchen table presentation, an F&A, and sell life insurance. Listen, life insurance ain't what sets you free. Having a hierarchy is what sets you free. So let's talk about some of these things this morning. I think number one, teammates, you've got to decide this morning on the vision you're going to build. This starts really with Ed and Yvonne, and then the RVP team, down to the full-timers, and then to everybody else. But you have to have a clear vision, something you sell out to. You have to decide what it's going to look like for you, and not just business, your life. What do you want it to look like? What do you want your business to look like? How many offices? How many states? Right? What's going to be your battle cry? You've got to have a vision. You know, biblically, where there is no vision, people perish. The opposite would be where there is a vision, people flourish. Nobody cares where you are. They only care where you're going. I'd start talking about $1 million run with every conversation right now. Nobody cares you're not at $1 million yet. I was telling people for 9 years that I was about to get this ring cross over 100,000 for 9 years. It was just right around the corner, Jason. Hey, man, a few more months, I'll have that ring. I said that crap for 9 years. I was at 37,000 in income saying, hey, a few more months, I'll have this ring. I said over and over and over. But the good news is a lie repeated often enough becomes the truth. And you got to lie to yourself, not in a bad way. You got to cast that vision. Here's where we're going. People are like, I don't believe it. I had a chance to meet some of Mike Sharp's first generation RVPs, the people that you hear about in some of the audios. I went out to Band of Brothers at Sharp's Ranch a couple of years ago, and I met these guys, legends in Primerica. And all these guys that Mike was recruiting when he was coming up, they were all older than Mike, making more money than Mike, more successful than Mike. So you had 40-year-olds, 45-year-olds, successful business owners, Jason, selling their businesses to follow a 28-year-old had nothing. And you know what one of them said? They said, you know what? Honestly, I don't know if I could have told you that I believed Mike when he told me where he was going. But I believed Mike believed in what he told me, where he told me he was going. Did y'all catch that? He said, I don't know if I believed where Mike told me he was going, but I believed Mike believed of where he was going, and he sold out to that. So you got to decide what you're going to do. Number two, you got to sell out to a system that will fulfill that vision. Well, what do I mean? Listen, friends, can I be honest with you? If all you want to make is $100,000 a year, the easiest way to go make $100,000 a year is to learn how to use this. You get to RVP, get some decent people skills, some decent sales skills, pick up your pen and go make 100 grand. Right? Eric, wouldn't you agree that dealing with people is the hardest thing we do? Like this business, Jason, would be amazing if it weren't for the daggone people. But I need the people, right? I need the people to set me free. So I tell people, say, well, what's the fastest way, Jeff, to make 100 grand? I say, be very careful the question you're asking me. Because the answer to that question, what's the fastest way to make 100 grand, is very different than the answer to what's the fastest way to make $1 million. Fast way to make 100 grand is pick up your pen. Guys, this business is stupid. You get an RVP contract, you got some securities mixed in with your insurance. You write 2 life apps a week, roll over a little IRA. You're making 100 grand your own pen all dang day long by yourself. You ain't babysitting anybody. You're not taking phone calls at 11 o'clock at night. You never have to answer. You never have to answer, why does Primerica make me change my password every 35 days? Stop asking me stupid questions. You don't have to deal with that crap, right? But if you're going to get big, you got to have a system that will fulfill that vision. See, I wanted overrides. I wanted $1 million a year. And I really, honestly, Kyle, I found out that the only reason I really want $1 million a year is just to say I make $1 million a year. Like, we live an incredible lifestyle. Like, our life's good now. Like, we're doing it, man. 7,000 square foot house, gated community. Wife's home with our kids all the time. I'm home all the time. 12 RVPs, runs without me. We travel all over the place. We're making $30,000, $35,000 a month in overrides. Life's good. But there's something in me, something egotistical that just wants to say I make $1 million. Just to say I'll make $1 million. What system is going to fulfill that vision? Well, it's going to have to be an override system of building RVPs. It's going to have to be. Guys, we saw just a few months ago that Justin Giroux went over $1 million in income, basically by himself. Did y'all see the numbers when Justin went to $1 million in income? You know how many life insurance licensed people Justin has in his entire hierarchy? How many life insurance licenses? You don't know, Jason? 17. I got district leaders that have more licenses than Justin Giroux. So people look at that. Hang with me, though. Because, Jackie, some people look at that and say, well, he makes $1 million. I wouldn't want his life if you put a gun to my head. It's all securities. The market's all over the place. You know how many phone calls he's taking right now? Because the market's all over the place. His life has to be hell. By the way, Eric, you know how much his business is worth? Who's going to buy a book of business that you got to babysit? If you take Justin out of the deal, ain't nobody buying that business. Yeah, but you look at Ed and Yvonne's business, hierarchy of independent RVPs, strong leaders, $500,000 plus in residual override income. Ed and Yvonne got a $5 million business. Justin Giroux's got nothing. Now, I'm not discounting the fact he's making $1 million. I'm not. But when I get to $1 million, it's going to be a real million. It's going to be worth something because of my vision and the system that I'm sold out to. And then you got to sell out to a specific structure that you believe in. You got to sell out to a structure that you believe in. I wanted RVPs that had RVPs that had RVPs. That's what I needed. I got 6 first-generation regional vice presidents right now. I've got 3 second-generation regional vice presidents, 2/3 and a 4th. So I'm all the way down into 4th-generation RVPs. RVPs that have RVPs that have RVPs. That's the system that I believed in. That's the structure that you got to be thinking about that when you're a division. You say, Jeff, I'm not even RVP yet. You got to be thinking about it now. Can I be a little transparent with you for a minute? Looking back and dissecting my past and really digging into the mistakes that I made and why we got stuck. One of the mistakes I made, Jason, and the reason I got stuck at RVP, and it took me so long to get out of it, is because when I was coming up through the base shop, all I could think about was my next promotion. When I was a district, I was obsessed with becoming a division. When I was a division, I was obsessed with becoming a regional. When I was in a regional, I was obsessed with becoming an RVP. When I became an RVP, I got obsessed with making money, not in growing to the next promotion. If I would have stayed obsessed on SVP, I'd have gotten the ring lightning fast, and I'd have built something way bigger than I am right now. I got focused on next contract, cash, without realizing that cash is a byproduct. If I'd have built the structure, the cash was going to be there. Does that make sense, y'all? Good. So the real goal is SNSD. We got to stop this language of RVP is the place to be. The world of Primerica is full of nameless, faceless RVPs. SNSD is the place to be, y'all. When people ask you, hey, what's the top contract? Stop telling them RVP. The top contract is SNSD. That's the real goal. Do you understand there's no freedom without the SNSD contract? We got to help get Ed and Yvonne to SNSD. You know why? Because if you're not an SNSD doing 250,000 through third, you have to run a base shop. You can't get free. And Yvonne can never sail off into the sunset if they're not an SNSD with 250 through third. There's no freedom. Because if you're not doing 10 grand in your base, Jason, there ain't no bonuses. Right? You be $1 million earner as a national sales director. You ain't free. You still got to run a base shop, which is an adult daycare. You still got to run an adult daycare every month to hit your numbers so you get your bonus. SNSD is where you got to go. So distribution, Kyle, it's not really codes. Distribution is RVPs. We say, I'm building distribution. You got to change your language. RVPs is how we build distribution. So if we go back and look at the guy that built the biggest team ever, his name was Art. Let's not forget that, like, Primerica is still one man's hierarchy. Like, you having 8 or 10 or 12 RVPs is a dadgum joke. There's a man that has a company with 5,000 RVPs and 130,000 agents. His name's Art Williams. And Jason, he created the game, therefore he gets to set the rules. This is Art's game, buddy. So nobody's asking for your opinion. It ain't your game. We want to go play the game. Here was the rules Art set. If you go back and look at anything or just download the A.L. Williams way off POL, in the very beginning pages, this is the rules Art set out to play the game. Eric, he said, number one, you got to get to RVP. Step one, how are we going to change an industry, Jackie? He didn't say put together top 25 list. Kelly, he didn't say step one was get your securities license. Dirk, he didn't say step one was master your presentation. Joe, he said step one was get to RVP. By the way, I've studied Art for 18 years. I've never seen him actually teach you how. We get so caught up trying to teach people how. Art didn't teach you how to do it. Art told you to do it. Again, like Patton. Patton said, I never told my men how to carry out a mission. I told my men what the mission was and trusted them to make the right choice in the moment. So what's the deal? Get to RVP. Step two, Eric, you got to build 7 to 10 key first-generation RVPs. That's step two. Step three, help them build 7 to 10. And you're done. That's Art's game. But we're out here, running around like 4-year-olds on a soccer field. We don't even know which goal we're supposed to be kicking towards. We're so confused with so many voices and messages in Primerica today. Hold on. I'm on my wife's computer, getting a phone call. I'm hanging up on her. Boom. All right, here we go. We're coming back at it. You too can be an NSD. I hung up on somebody. All right, perfect. Here we go. Resume share. Woo! Here we go. Yeah, y'all think I'm pretty masculine. I'm sitting here on a pink MacBook right now trying to tell you how to be a stud. Here's the deal. Here's the deal, right? Art said those are the 3 steps. Get to RVP, build 7 to 10, help them build 7 to 10, and you're done. If that's the deal, guys, I came here to get done, didn't you? Ed and Yvonne are here to get done. And then it's going to be all the RVPs listening right now. Then it's your job to go get done. How do I do it? I got to build some daggum RVPs, teach them to build some daggum RVPs. You build 7, who builds 7? That's 56 regional vice presidents in your hierarchy. I got to think you're going to be okay. So let's get to it. All right, here's how we've got to figure this out right now. Let's be honest. Let's call a spade a spade. 67% of RVPs in Primerica have never, and most likely will never, promote another regional vice president. Do I have your attention now? Most systems, Aaron, lead you to a dead end. Brian, because we get to RVP, but we don't have a culture that will develop RVPs. Now, that's not the Ortiz hierarchy, right? Yvonne, you guys have done an amazing job building dynamic leaders. But the truth is 67% of RVPs, Ray, will never promote an RVP. And you know what's unfortunate, Jason? We're running around all our fast start schools, meeting these people, asking for advice. Give me a tip. Teach me something. Listen, with all due respect, if you don't have what I want, I don't need your daggum advice. Right? I'm not listening to a senior national division leader. Right? I need advice from people that know how to build what I want. Most systems take us to a dead end. So here's the deal. Jason, we believe this is us now. Listen, this is me. But I got 18 years under my belt and looking at good years and bad years in my business. I believe, Kyle, we don't build them. We find them. We don't build leaders, we find them. I've never seen a system that's going to take a dud and turn them into a stud. We find studs, don't we, Jason? Right? Studs are full. We find them. Why do we double-digit recruit? There's only one reason to double-digit recruit, to find 2 leaders. Not to get 10 people that I can work on turning into leaders. I ain't got time for that. I'm looking for leaders. I need 10 recruits to find 2 that'll be good. And recruiting's the only way we find them. Right? I'm looking at the RVPs on the call right now. Primerica did not make you a daggum champion. You were a champion before you showed up. Everything you need to be good here, you learned before 1st grade. Be a good person. Keep your word. Work hard. Don't lie. Don't cheat. Don't steal. Do what you say you're going to do. You'll learn that crap. If your mama didn't teach you, I can't. You either have it or you don't. And recruiting is how we find them. So we got to do large numbers because we're looking for the 2%ers. Again, these are not Jeff's words. These are Art's words. We're looking for the 2%ers. And the only way to do large numbers, Jason, is multiplication. Right? Art said find 7 and help them get 7. That's a lot more than you finding 3, helping them get 3. People don't even believe 3. You got 3 to get 3 to get 3 to get 3. Art said go get 7 to get 7. That's a much bigger deal. Are you playing that game? Are you finding your leaders right now? Guys, look at this. Buisan had 600 RVPs when he made $1 million for the first time. 600! Jason, I ain't got 600 people, let alone 600 RVPs. Willie Naranjo had 12. Frank Dillon had 5. Justin Giroux had 1. So what's the deal, y'all? Are we chasing income today? I think so. We ain't chasing size. How many of y'all would agree that Primerica today is better than what Buisan had 40 years ago? Dude, it's not even close. But how come you ain't building 600 RVPs? Why am I not building 600 RVPs? Because we're chasing income. You're going to get the Ortizes to $1 million? Why don't you let the $1 million take care of itself? And why don't you help the Ortizes build 20 new RVPs this year? Why don't you focus on size? Money's going to be there. So like we say, a recruit's not a recruit till they have a recruit, an RVP's not an RVP till they have an RVP. I'm going to build a team of the 33% of RVPs that will go build some. So some of you right now got them, some of you don't. That's okay. What's your goal? Go build some. Go build some. Right? So I believe, now you guys are way over this, way past this, but I'm talking to now the RVPs, because the Ortiz is going to be okay. I need you other RVPs to go build your own daggum hierarchy, because as you win, they win. So you got to be at 50 recruits a month there to build a hierarchy. To build a hierarchy. I really don't think, and that was true, right? When we got it over 40, 50, 50, then we started to promote RVPs. Some of y'all RVPs doing like 12 recruits a month out there talking about building a hierarchy. You got to stop, man. It's just embarrassing. You're doing 15 recruits in your base shop talking about you're going to promote an RVP in the next 60 days. That's like a 5-year-old having a baby. It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. Right? There's some things that have to mature first. You got to grow up a little bit, and then we'll talk about building some. If I'm not doing 50, I'm not big enough to be promoting anybody, Jason. I'll talk about why in a second. And we go in stages. So it starts with double-digit recruiting. So for all y'all like where I was, 10 years ago, let's just get to you double-digit recruiting. And then you start to help somebody double-digit recruit. And then you help somebody else double-digit recruit. And you just go in stages, one at a time. I was listening to my buddy Brett talk about how he got his team built, and it seems so simple. Jason said, first I had to get to double-digit recruiting. Let's say I recruit Jason, right? And then my obsession is to get Jason's team to double-digit recruit. Once I got Jason's team double-digit recruiting, well, then my obsession was to double-digit recruit outside of Jason. So I got Kyle now, and now Jason's double-digit. Now I'm pouring into Kyle, and I need Kyle to double-digit recruit. Now they're both double-digit recruiting. My obsession was I got a double-digit recruit outside Jason and Kyle. And it was so simple. And that was step by step by step. And you build a hierarchy. So here are the mile markers along the way. Most people in Primerica are not talking like this right now, but this is what we did the last 10 years to change it. It starts with 10. If you're not at 10, you got to get to 10. You got to get to 10 right now. You can do it personally. You can do it through others, but you got to get to 10. Sonia, after you get to 10, you got to sell out to 30. 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30. Jackie, why 30? Well, 30 is 2 teams, double-digit recruiting. If you have 2 teams, double-digit recruiting, you'll be doing 30. Now, I know you say, well, Jeff, 2 teams, double-digit recruiting, that could just be 20. No. It never works like that. Right? 2 teams, double-digit recruiting. One's going to do 16. One's going to do 10. You'll go do 4. You're at 30 recruits. Then you go to 50. Now you can start promoting RVPs. Those are base shop numbers, Josh. Next is a hierarchy. We're focused on 75 recruits a month. I'll talk about this in just a minute, guys. Well, we're about done. Well, you're about done. I could go till Friday, but some of y'all are yawning. I don't know what's up in Florida. You got to wake up. 150 is next. So hierarchy numbers. Now, 150 is 9 double-digit legs. That's it. Just 9 double-digit teams. And doesn't that sound silly, guys? I got to find 9 double-digit teams, and I can do 150 recruits a month? Yep. The next level, which is where you guys are not yet, Kelly, is 300. Right? So you guys are a team doing over 150. That's good. But you need to rally together. The battle cry, Brian Turner, is 300 recruits a month. That's got to be the Ortiz's battle cry. 300 recruits, 300 recruits, 300 recruits. Why, Willis? Well, because every IBA is worth production. See, Frank, I don't have to focus on production. Production comes from recruits, friend. Look at y'all's business. Now, some of y'all not, but Eric and Bryn, Jason, Jackie, Ed, and Yvonne, Brian, and Melinda, you look at your numbers, you have enough recruiting numbers to look at the data. Let me ask you this. I feel like, man, I wish I could be there in person. I'd be high-fiving some people right now, making sure this is sticking. I'll be in Tampa this weekend. I got an office down there too. I'll be down there Sunday, Monday. So here's the deal. True story. Think with me. Can we at least agree on this, friends? Premium does not lead to recruiting. Can we agree on that? Recruiting leads to premium. Why is this very important? I'm going to show you a couple of slides that are very specific to y'all's hierarchy to get you fired up about chasing this vision. See, I don't have to worry about making sales, Jason. Now, May was just a so-so month. We really didn't have a great May. April, we knocked it out of the park. My hierarchy in April did $140,000 of premium. It was our all-time record. We didn't talk about sales one time. Never once in the month did I recognize anybody that made a sale. Never on one of my conference calls did I recognize our top producers at all. I only recognized our recruiting leaders. You know why we did 140-some thousand in premium? Because we recruited 260 people. That's why. Recruits bring premium. And every IBA is worth production. So RVPs, let me clarify some things. Let's say that the average life app is $800 in premium, $65 a month. Can we go with that? I know what yours is. I'll talk about this in a second, but can we go with 800? Is that all right? So Jason, here's the deal. As an RVP, you know there's a 20-20 bonus if you're or a 20% bonus if you're doing 20 and 20,000. So why would 30 recruits be the number you sell out to? Because 30 recruits times $800 of premium per recruit is a $24,000 base shop, which means you'll never miss your 20% bonus. I ain't got to talk about selling to get my bonus. I get to talk about recruiting and automatically get my bonus. Does that make sense? If y'all as a hierarchy, if you're doing a little over 300 recruits a month, I'll show you the numbers in a second, a little over 300 recruits a month, Yvonne, times $800 of premium is going to give you $250,000, which is SNSD numbers. It's a recruiting factor. So how do I grow premium without having to talk about growing premium? I grow double-digit recruiting teams because every recruit's worth production. So let's look at the numbers, right? Here's the Ortiz hierarchy year to date as of this morning. You guys have done 1,285 recruits by $710,905 of premium. So a little simple math, Eric, based off that says that that's about $553 of premium per recruit. Now, that's a skewed number. Why is it skewed? My number is skewed as well. The company for 90 days has given us very cheap IBAs. So our recruiting numbers have jumped way out ahead of our premium numbers because anybody with $49 in a pulse is signing an IBA right now. So normally, I think $750 minimum would be normal. If you take out, I mean, this is me. I'm looking at my numbers too. Like they're all jacked up because we've recruited a ton of people because the IBA got cheap. But normally you do about $750 per IBA. Well, all I know then is that if you're doing 333 recruits a month as a hierarchy, you're going to be doing $250,000 of premium. I don't care about your system, y'all. Don't change your system. Your system is perfect. Your system brings in $700-800 of premium per recruit. You just need more people. So if you got more people coming in the front door, Yvonne, you're going to do a lot more production. You're going to do $250,000, not by focusing on it, but by getting people to go be double-digit recruiting teams. Well, that makes you an SNSD. That's only 20 double-digit recruiters. That's only 20 guys. There's over 100 people on this call right now. That's 20 of you stepping up and saying, I could go get 2 recruits a week. The rest y'all bums don't do anything. But 20 y'all step up and go do 10 recruits a month. You guys are SNSD. And why is that important? Well, because when you look at Primerica's growth, out of the last 20 $1 million earners, 18 of them went SNSD on their way to the million. They didn't get a million and then become SNSD. They became SNSD and then got the million. 20. I don't know about y'all. I'll be running some pretty silly incentives for my 20 double-digit recruiting teams, man. I'll be putting some money on that deal right there. Like, Indianapolis is a great place to travel this time of year. Come see me. That's a joke, by the way. Nobody travels to Indianapolis ever, right? Well, let's finish this up. I think you got to learn to fight the noise. If you're going to run this play and you're going to stay true to this and you're going to be a great big builder that builds great big builders, I think you've got to learn to fight the noise, especially inside Primerica. See, when you sell out to a recruit philosophy, everybody wants to give you their opinion on why your system's not as good as their system, and you should do their presentation, not your presentation. You got to fight that noise, y'all. You got to put some dadgum blinders on. You got to put your head down, and you got to run your play. Your play. You got to embrace recruiting as your path to greatness. Your path to greatness has to be through recruiting. And guys, I've got so much I could keep talking about. I want to make sure that I honor and respect your time this morning as well. I'm about out of time. But guys, this business is a lot simpler than we make it. So Jason, my job, getting a brand new recruit off to a fast start, you know what I really want? My number one goal, Aaron, is to get you 3 recruits like your life depends on it. That's my number one goal. People like, you build a top 25 list or top 50 list or top 100 list. I don't know. I don't really care. I just need 3. Because I don't care who y'all are. Every one of you have 3 people in your life that are ride or die. Y'all got 3. Put me in front of them today. And let me lock you in with those 3 recruits, and then let me help them go get 3 recruits. Well, what about the sales? Listen, you're going to have plenty of sales, y'all. But we mess our teams up by messing up our message, right? We're coming out of the gate in a brand new month. We're talking about recruit. We're coming towards the end of the month. My bonus check is in question. And so what do? We got to sell. Special promotion on premium for the next 48 hours. Anybody that writes a sale goes to dinner with the coach. Guys, you're messing it. Well, what am I supposed to do? Right? Am I supposed to recruit? Am I supposed to sell? Well, what do you want me to do, coach? I want you to recruit. The sales are going to be okay. Larry Weidel said, if you talk about recruiting 100% of the time, it explodes. If you talk about recruiting 99% of the time, it falls in half. If you talk about recruiting 98% of the time, it stops. You got to have a message you sell out to. For us, it's recruiting to build RVPs. Because the vision I have for my life, the structure that's going to set me free, is 10 first-generation RVPs making $100,000 who have RVPs making $100,000. That's a business that lets me ride off into the sunset. That's the dream. Art never built this for career Primerica. If you're in this career, I'm going to be a good RVP, make $100,000 for 40 years. Art never built it for that. Art built this for part-time or get rich. That was it. Art never sold you a career here. He sold you the dream of getting a few people who got a few people who got a few people so you could be done. That's all Art ever sold. And now Primerica is telling you, hey, make $100,000, $200,000, run your little office, do some securities. Live the dream. That ain't the freaking dream. I want to have like screw you money where I don't worry about anybody's opinion about anything ever. I'm done. We got to build that through RVPs. So guys, I hope that helps you just a little bit. That's just the way I look at the world. That's the message we're talking about. We're running to SNSD too. You got a head start on me, but I love a good fight. I'm going to catch you. And let's walk across that stage to get together next summer. Is that a deal, y'all?
Yeah,
Jason,
that was fantastic, man. Unbelievable. I'm telling you, in the last, 45 minutes, I've taken notes upon notes upon notes. What I love about, what you were talking about was how you actually took our, our hierarchy numbers, man. You gave us a plan of attack, a game plan on something like that. I think our leadership here in the organization with mom and dad, I mean, that's literally what they have been focused in on. But I love how you broke that down for the entire hierarchy to be able to see something like that, how simple it is. Instead of focusing in on, like you said, Primerica Financial Services and all the products and services that we have, even though they're fantastic, right? We can't lose sight of what's really important in the business.
Right.
Which is that recruiting. I got a question for you. Now that I know you're the face of the new associate orientation. There's a lot of people online here that are from the brand newest person over to the national sales director going to SNSD here. You said at the very end there, get 3 people on their team as soon as possible today. Talk to if you can kind of elaborate a little bit more on something like that, kind of like the conversation that you have, with getting a top 10, a top 25, a top 50, whatever the name is, or whatever the amount of people it is. And then really having that sense of urgency to get 3 people on their team as soon as possible. I think that would help out immensely here.
So listen, this is so simple. And this is where us as leaders get to put our money where our mouth is, right? Because I'm looking to build a team. I know so many people, they build a top 25 list, they qualify it, they find all the 4s and 5-pointers, and they go book a ton of KTs so you can write premium. I want to build something, man. And I'm going to get you to stick around a lot longer if you have a team of people that you'll lose if you quit. Like, I'm going to lock them in. So, Jason, we're sitting down today. We've talked about it. You've obviously seen there's a chance to override. I explained to you why my job is to get you to be a district leader as quickly as humanly possible. Now, I don't care what y'all's promotion guidelines are, but whatever it is, it probably involves 3 recruits. Mm-hmm. So I tell them, I said, so we got to get 3 people on your team right away. And Jason, here's the good news. I'll actually do the work for you. So I want to know, right, who the top 5 to 10 people are that fit, Bill Whittle calls it champ, right? The competitive, hardworking, all that, or you could use STEAM, sales, teachers, enthusiastic, ambitious, money, whatever you do. But I want to know the top 5 or 10 people that you want on your team immediately. Now, people that would be just as good, if not better than you. Ambitious, hardworking, close to you. Like, if we could get them, if we could get them, it would be game over for you. And I'm going to start with those. And then all I want you to do is text them to make sure they know I'm going to be giving them a call. I'm going to be giving them a call today. Right? And that text could be, you guys have this. I mean, it's like, hey, I just started working part-time with a new company. They're looking for a few great people, so I thought of you. Not sure if you're open, but my trainer, Jeff, might give you a call. Something simple. Now, I teach them not to answer any questions. Great, what is it? Just ignore it. Just don't say anything. Just
okay.
Ghost them. Just be done. Because all I really need to have happen is that when I call, they've at least heard my name. So Jason, I recruit you. You say, man, my brother Eric would be unbelievable. Great. Text him. Let him know I'm gonna be reaching out. So I'm gonna call Eric. Right? Eric, hey, what's up? Jeff Seagrave. Your brother Jason asked me to reach out to you. Did I catch you at a good time? You got a quick second?
Yes.
Right? So awesome. I said, well, listen, did your brother let you know I'll be reaching out?
Yeah, he sent me a text.
Yeah, I got a text. Awesome. What did he tell you about me?
He said that you were looking for some people.
Awesome. Very good. Well, I am. And Jason, let me ask you a question, buddy. What do you do for work right now?
I'm a teacher.
Okay, awesome. And how long you been teaching?
For about 8 years.
Okay. So you're pretty excited to have your summers off, right?
Yeah, and all the other vacations, all the other holidays. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but you got some free time right now, right? Obviously, it's June, July.
Yes,
awesome,
sir.
Buddy. Well, listen, hey, just to respect your time, your brother was telling me, obviously, he just took a position with me. And I was telling him I'm looking for a few other leaders that are hardworking, ambitious, money motivated, that might be open-minded. Does that sound like you, Jason?
Absolutely.
Perfect, man. Well, I don't know, Jason, if you'd be a good fit for me. And I don't know if what I do would be a good fit for you. But based off what your brother said, I'd love to have a quick conversation where we could go in a little bit more detail. We could do like a video call, maybe 10, 15 minutes later this afternoon. Or if you're open to grabbing a cup of coffee, I'd be happy to treat you to a cup of coffee. Do you have any time later today? We might be able to grab some time.
Yeah, absolutely. I can do later on this afternoon.
Perfect. And I'll book it. That's it. That's literally my whole call. I don't go into Primerica. I don't say nothing. That's it. Boom. Nobody even asked.
Nice.
I said, your brother said you'd be good. I'm looking for some good people. I don't know if you qualify. And I don't know if we'd be a good fit for you, but based off what he said, I'd love to explore the opportunities. Let's grab a cup of coffee.
Love it. Super simple, super basic, no details of the company or the products, because that's not sexy with a phone.
No, yeah, I'm not doing. People start asking questions. I say, listen, Jason, honestly, I don't do phone interviews. If you're open-minded, let's grab some time. If not, appreciate you. Right? Have a good day.
Nice.
Like, oh, wait, because people want what they can't have, right? I got the cookie. I'll take it back. I'm not playing 20 questions with bozos, man. I'm not doing that. So I'm looking for some people, right? Well, now your brother's at work. I get to text him and say, hey, buddy, I got 3 interviews in the next 24 hours for you. You're going to be amazing at this. Great job.
Yep.
Now he's excited. Now he's thinking of more people. Now he's sending me more numbers.
Yep.
And they're letting the people that are good. See, the challenge with Primerica today is the people really good at Primerica aren't doing Primerica, and the brand new people that are not good at Primerica are doing Primerica.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
We need to get you leaders that are good at this doing this. They bring people, I bring the rest. They bring people, I bring the rest. They don't bring people, I don't work with them.
Yep. Very good, man. Very, very, very good. Super simple, super basic. Just real quick here. I know as tradition, we always have, our coaches get on here and kind of address, the team real quick. So with that being said, is Coach Ed, Coach Yvonne on the line? Will you guys like to come on and just represent us real quick?
Absolutely. Hey, Jeff, thank you so much. Man, that's exactly what the team needed. Let me bring Yvonne because I know she's on the line there. Babe, you got anything for the great Jeff Seagrave there?
No, super excited. Well, I am just, Jeff, thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts, because this is exactly what we needed in here to get the team fired up. So you've done an amazing job. I mean, we will call on your name when we go out there to get that ring.
Well, the plan is for me to be right beside you, so I appreciate that. We love you guys, your leadership, your example, your role model.
Even better.
But listen, Jeff, one more thing. Hey, listen, let's make this run together, man. It's going to be an awesome run, and I appreciate everything that you said. And you're absolutely right, man. SNSD is the place to be. That's where everything starts. That's where freedom is. Yeah. Because besides that, it's not the true freedom. It's about, becoming an RVP. And like you said, if we just follow that simple that simple game plan from Art William, which is nothing more than, hey, you got to become an RVP. All right. And for those leaders, I mean, you get a leader, they'll figure it out. They'll figure out how to become an RVP. So we got to focus on finding those that want to become an RVP. And once you find those guys, then we got to develop them as far as saying, hey, listen, we got to once you got an RVP, hey, once you become an RVP, go go put a team together of you and 7 to 10 others.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, and then teach those guys to get 7 to 10 others. On one of our presentation, I always said in the Tampa Bay area, we're looking at opening 57 offices, and this is how we're doing it. This is how we're doing. And I usually keep it real simple, man. I don't complicate this thing. I said, this is how you do it. First, you got to become an RVP. I got to become an RVP. The next thing I do, I got to develop 7 to 10. Let's say 7 RVPs. I've already done 7, so I got to go focus on building 7 more. I know I could do 7, so let's go build 7 more. All right, and let's teach those 7 to get 7 more. So 7 times 7 is 49 plus the original 7. That's 56 plus you. That's your 57. That's how simple this thing. And it's freedom. It's freedom. It's for you to do whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it. And I am so proud of you coming on this team and just sharing those words of wisdom, man. I can't tell you. I took so much notes, man. I'm still taking notes on this one. So I appreciate that. We had Bill Whittle last week, man. He did absolutely phenomenal. Bringing you in right now, man. It's we're on the right track, man. We gotta go out there.
You made me follow Bill Whittle.
Yeah. No, you did absolutely phenomenal. Before that, we had Blake. But I mean, you're right up there, man. I'm telling you, you're right in that category. You're right in that level. So, we truly appreciate you, and we thank you so much for being here with us. And man, anything we could do from Tampa, if you're going to be over here, man, dude, mi casa es su casa. You know what that means,
yes,
right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, anytime. I thank you so much, man. Appreciate you, man. Love you, man.
Love you guys too. Thanks for the time this morning. Thanks for the invite. Seriously, love all you guys. Can't wait to see you soon. Y'all have a great day.
All right.
Thanks, really appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Up there with one of the best calls that we've had this year, man, or pretty much ever. So thank you so much, man. We knew we were going to get blessed today by having you on the call, man. Thank you once again. The Ortiz hierarchies are here to help you out with whatever it is you need, my man. But, hey, guys, you guys heard this, 104, 100 and at the height of everything. We had 117 teammates on the call here. Listen, y'all, let's take this information. Knowledge is only power if it is applied. I'd highly encourage you guys, if you haven't already done it so far, Jeff talked about some incredible nuggets, but it wasn't anything different than the best leader in Primerica talked to us about. Look, if you don't have this book, I'd encourage you guys to go and get this thing, the A.L. Williams Way. Man, I'm telling you, literally, I'm looking at this thing on the first page of the first chapter. If you look here, right, chapter 1, the A.L. Williams Way, the first thing he has right there is under explosive growth. He has the 3 steps, which you'll see: get to RVP, build 7 to 10 RVPs, help your RVPs build 7 to 10 RVPs. On the first page, man, listen, there's no secret to success, guys. It's already been written. We all over here trying to rewrite the history of everything. I'd encourage you guys to get this thing, man. Let's learn from the best and the biggest in the entire business, the founder of it all, man. And there's simple fundamental basics, you guys. I'd encourage you guys to go in on that. You can get that on Primerica online. You can actually download it from the download center. It's called the A.L. Williams Way. But listen, other than that, let's go do something big, man. We're here to do something historic. We're here to do something legendary. We are on an incredible run right now, guys. I can't explain the feeling and the momentum that's happening in the hierarchy right now. As Jeff was talking about that, 333 recruits should be our focus. We've already been doing numbers way past that the last 2-3 months in a row. All right. So if we focus in on that and everybody buys into the system, everybody sells into that vision, into that goal, what's going to happen in this hierarchy across the board is going to be explosive growth. Just like he said, if we have 20 people doing double-digit recruiting, just 20 people doing double-digit recruiting, guys, that is 333 recruits just like that. There are 101 people on this call. There's no reason why people can't be doing double-digit recruits. I mean, our team alone, the Wealth Builders, and we're building and rebuilding right now. We had 2 or 3 of them double-digit recruit out of nowhere. Their first month in the business, guys, right? And so, look, there's no doubt that we could do something like that. We are doing some incredible things, man. Lean on the leadership of your uplines on the hierarchy here. Listen, don't take the leadership that we have here for granted. We bring in big hitters into this call so that you guys get fed every single morning. Don't take it for granted. There's other base shops and other hierarchies across the nation that never get to have these type of people, and we get them 2-3 times on a weekly basis, yo. Man, don't take it for granted. Don't get left behind. The train is moving. Let's go and get after it, and let's do something big and special and historic, you guys. We love every single one of you guys. Thanks for being on the call. 1041. Listen, let's go close this month out strong in a big way, Coach. Anything else you want to say?
You got it, Papa. You got it. You covered it all, man. Let's go. Yep, absolutely.
Yes,
let's go make it happen.
Yes, sir. So listen, man, let's have a sense of urgency, focus on recruiting, and get 3 people on their team as soon as possible. Today, not later on this week, today, later on today, or tomorrow. With the Zoom and the technology we have in place right now, there's no doubt that we can start doing double-digit legs in a week time. Right? Forget doing double-digit in a month. Imagine if we all focused in on doing double-digit teams, developing double-digit teams on a weekly basis. Imagine what will happen across the board here, guys. with a rising tide, all ships rise. And that's what's happening here, man. So proud of every single one of you guys. The commitment that you guys have is unparalleled across the business, across the entire company. So let's go make our mark, man, and let's do something big and historic, something that people talk about for years to come. And with that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead. If we could get, let's see, unmute all. We got everybody unmuted. If we can go and close this thing out with, we are.
Amen.
Hey, everybody.